Hey there, race fans. It's Raceday Top 5 with me, Frank 5.
Roush Fenway Racing have announced that Brad Keselowski will drive the number 6 Ford Mustang for the team next year in 2022, but also Brad Keselowski will share a co-ownership with Roush Fenway Racing as an organization. This is a multi-year extension deal for Keselowski as the driver, but this pretty much means that he will probably be the successor to Jack Roush when his time is officially up as being an owner, because he is getting up there in age. Now, with the news last week that Austin Cindric is being promoted to the Cup Series, driving the number 2 car for Team Penske, and Harrison Burton's, of course, moving the number 21 for the Wood Brothers, which shocked a lot of people, it's pretty much all confirmed that Keselowski was going to Roush after all, because there have been rumors the last couple of months that Keselowski will not be back with Team Penske next year, and that he had been approached by Roush Fenway Racing to be a driver as well as an owner for the team to get Keselowski back in the ownership role, because he has experience as a car owner. He was an owner for his truck team back in the Truck Series in the early 2010s, and they were battling for race wins and at times championships over the years before Brad decided to shut it down at the end of 2017, but did not rule out the possibility that he could maybe reopen his truck team one day and get it back into the Truck Series, or promote it to Xfinity or Cup if he had the money and the opportunity to do it, as well as the equipment to. But I guess now with Roush, it's a big opportunity for him, and I think this definitely benefits Roush so much.
Then the 9 team was able to get out in front after a couple laps on the restart and pass Kyle Busch, and drove off by almost 6 seconds to win his second race of the season, which puts Chase Elliott third on NASCAR's winning list when it comes to road courses overall. He's third behind 2 of the greats in Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart. Hate to say it, you two, but you've got some company right behind you. And the 9 team, just continue the road course dominance and get some momentum back. The last 3 weeks for Chase Elliott and the Napa 9 team have kind of been rough. They had a disqualification at Nashville for having 5 loose lug nuts on one of the rear tires. They had a subpar weekend in Pocono where they finished 12th in the first race after they got hit in the rear end late in the going, early in the race by Ryan Preece, apologies. And the final race on Sunday, they ran the top 5 but got loose under Christopher Bell and pretty much put a right front fender rub on the 9 team, and they had to pit twice to get that fender rub fixed and pretty much cost them a good finish. But today they bounced back at a track where Elliott even admitted he kind of, he hadn't been here since 2015 in an Xfinity car. He's ran here twice, both times in the top 5 in overall finish, but he kind of didn't have his mojo all weekend. But as the race was able to begin today, and as the race progressed, he got his mojo back when it came to this facility, remembering how to brake, when to shift, all that, and timing it right. The 9 team just executed today, particularly in the final stage. They just nailed it. Picked up their second win of the season and get some momentum, because Kyle Larson's been the best car at Hendrick. So to see another Hendrick car get a victory and our reigning Cup champ to get momentum on his side, because usually they're not so good when it comes to the summer, this is a good way to kind of put aside the summer slump for them. Can they carry it forward? We'll see in the upcoming weeks.
Getting into Trackhouse Racing, they have exceeded my expectations for this year. I think they've exceeded everybody's expectations. This team is turning into, I felt like they were going to be a top 25 team. Even with RCR backing, they were probably going to be slow off the bat and probably maybe progress by the end of the year. Recently, we're seeing them run towards the top 10 and top 15 a lot. This team is legit. They are the real deal. They are here to stay for the long term. And of course, the team made big news last year when they announced this organization with Justin Marks, and they was going to have Daniel Suarez in, and they're going to have a Richard Childress alliance. I'm thinking, okay, Suarez is going to be in a relatively competitive race car. Then earlier this year, they announced that they were partnering with the famous rapper Pitbull as a co-owner, and he's also provided a lot of enthusiasm for the team. He gave the command to start the Daytona 500 this year. He was at Nashville a couple weeks ago, where Trackhouse Racing runs like their media marketing social platform department there in Nashville, while the team still operates in North Carolina. This was a big announcement before the season started that they were going to bring Pitbull in, and they've had some really good runs. I mean, one of the runs that really impressed me about Suarez, you could say the Bristol Dirt Race Top 5 was impressive, but the one in Atlanta, a track that's old and abrasive, and sometimes there could be comers and goers, that team should have gotten a top 10. Unfortunately, they got caught for speeding and had to settle for a top 15, top 20 in the race. But they have done a really good job this year as a racing organization. They've exceeded expectations. They're running well. They're competitive. I think Suarez, it feels finally at home.
Martinsville Speedway as an elimination race. Bravo! I love this so much. I mean, the elimination races that we have for the playoffs. Kudos to NASCAR. Bristol, round of 16, awesome. Roval, round of 12, awesome. Martinsville, round of 8, awesome. All the races this weekend were phenomenal for the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and Truck Series as far as elimination goes. We saw a wacky wreck fest Saturday in the truck race where Zane Smith pulled off the victory while other drivers were left pissed off and upset. Then we had an exciting battle at the end of the Xfinity race where Noah Gragson pulled off the ultimate win to get himself into the championship four to battle for title, which unfortunately knocked out his teammate Justin Allgaier, but you got to do what you got to do. And then yesterday, all those guys battling for those points and all the spots and wanting to make it to the championship four to compete for title. Bravo to Martinsville. The racing yesterday also was very, very good. Again, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Bristol is the best short track in NASCAR. There's no doubt about it. But Martinsville, I think, is under its shadow a lot. It gets Bristol kind of overlooks Martinsville a lot. Martinsville is a fun short track, and I want to go there one day. I've never been to a Martinsville race. It seems like a lot of fun. I mean, and the crowd attendance yesterday, that was probably the most packed Martinsville race since the 2017 fall event with Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin getting together. At the very end where Hamlin dumped Elliott, and Kyle Busch won, and Elliott and Hamlin were pissed off at each other. Kevin Harvick and Ryan Blaney were upset with each other. Martinsville just brings out the best and the worst in the drivers, and for an elimination race and playoffs, in a spot on the line to make the championship four, I love it.
Who will win this championship? Will it be the comeback kid Kyle Larson? Will it be the champ trying to defend his title and Chase Elliott? Will it be the Cinderella, finally stealing the deal for Denny Hamlin, being a bridesmaid but finally getting that trophy? Or will it be Mark Truex Jr., who for the first time last year wasn't in the championship four since being more competitive with the Toyotas and everything? It's going to be an interesting battle on Sunday. I can't wait to see what happens. But if you all want to know who I believe will be the champion of 2021, well, to be quite honest with you, I'm picking Kyle Larson. The 750 package, he's not as dominant with that package as the Gibbs guys have, but right now, Larson has just got a lot of momentum. Yes, Truex has momentum from eking out that last point over his teammate to get in. Chase Elliott has the momentum from a fast race car last week, winning both stages and leading the most laps. Denny Hamlin put himself in a position late to win the race. There's a lot of, those guys can put up a battle, but I believe in the end, Kyle Larson, Cliff Daniels, and the number 5 team will emerge victorious, hoisting the Belle France Cup and be your 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion. Ben Rhodes, the young Kentucky boy, is your 2021 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series champion. He didn't win the race on Friday night, but he finished the best of the rest as far as the guys battling for the championship, which is very important in this format. He was able to come across the start-finish line in 4th place and be the highest finisher of the championship 4 drivers to capture the title. Ben Rhodes has had a very consistent season. Starting off the season, he won the opener Daytona in a photo finish over Jordan Anderson and Corey Roper. Then the following week at the Daytona Road Course, he wins in the rain. He's been very consistent all year. He hadn't won any other race after that, but he was still consistent for the most part, put together some solid runs. He had a couple run-ins here and there, but for the most part, he kept it clean. Come playoff time, they were one of the most consistent drivers, and that consistency put him into the round of 8, and then to the round of 4, and making the championship. And he was the best of the championship 4 drivers throughout the entire race Friday night. Wasn't leading the race at all, but he stayed up there for the most part. Then late in the race, he had a challenge with Zane Smith. Zane Smith took the lead of the championship 4 in the late stages of the race, but with a couple laps to go, Ben Rhodes ran him down under 10 to go, passed him for the lead in the championship, and he never looked back. This dude has faced a lot of criticism in his career for kind of being a dirty driver in a ways, and a lot of people don't like Ben Rhodes a lot, but you gotta admit, the way he won the championship, he won it fair and square. Daniel Hemrick, at long last, silenced the doubters and wins his first NASCAR Xfinity Series race, and also won the championship in the process. And what a finish it was for Daniel Hemrick,
bumping Austin Cindric on the last corner of the last lap of the Xfinity Series finale, and then door slamming him in a drag race at the checkered flag. Daniel Hemric got the edge, and he was able to capture his first win and the Xfinity Series championship. Daniel Hemric, consistency got him to this point. Also, I'm trying to put the words together. The demise of Justin Allgaier not making it to the championship 4 is what put Daniel Hemric into this round, and he kept up with Austin Cindric the entire race. He had really good race car. In the final stage, he started to fade on the long runs, but then we got some late race cautions, and the short runs really helped him. And Dave Rogers, the crew chief, told him, how badly do you want this? Go give it your best. And he went for it on that last lap. You can't blame him for trying. He gave it everything he had, and he got the edge, and he's now a champion of the Xfinity Series, and also won his first race, as mentioned. Finally is able to break the talk about when is Daniel Hemric going to win a race, because up until this point, he never won a NASCAR race. He finally did it, and joining the elite category of Dale Jarrett and Elton Sawyer as far as drivers that had multiple runner-up finishes before finally getting their first win. Kyle Larson's pit crew put together the best pit stop of the year, a championship-winning pit stop. They were 4th in the running order, and they come out in first place after that pit stop. And on the restart, they were able to hold off both of the Gibbs cars, and they never looked back. They tried to give him a run late, but he was just too fast on those short runs, and he ended up being this year's Cup Series champion. It was a special moment. He showed so much emotion. I mean, we didn't even know if Kyle Larson would ever come back to NASCAR after what happened to him a year ago. And to come back this year, score double-digit wins, the first driver to do it since Jimmy Johnson did it in 2007, and that year he was the champion with 10 wins, believe it or not. Larson put it all together yesterday, and, him and Cliff Daniels, the whole 5 team, they got to be so proud of him and his accomplishments. Rick Hendrick was happy. Jeff Gordon, the future vice chairman of Hendrick Motorsports, was there, and he was very happy. And Larson was getting so much admiration from every driver around NASCAR and all over the world. Mario Andretti congratulated him. Tony Stewart even called him the greatest race car driver we've ever seen. He might be right, but it was just a great moment for Larson to celebrate with his wife and his children, his son Owen riding with him in the car towards the stage where they would present him the race-winning trophy and, of course, the Belle France Cup. Such a special moment. I mean, the most dominant driver in NASCAR this year deserved to win the Cup Series championship. I mean, yeah, I know the dominant drivers in the Xfinity Truck Series, they didn't win the championship, but consistency mattered, and Kyle Larson was truly the most consistent driver in NASCAR this season, and I can't tell you how happy I am for him. Every NASCAR fan has got to feel very happy. Even if you like another driver, you got to feel happy for this incredible comeback story for Kyle Larson. He has definitely matured as a person, and I think he's going to do a great job representing our sport and the NASCAR Cup Series as the Cup champion next year.